Hi guys, it's Angie with Fun Endeavors Tie-Dye Lab. Today I'm going to make a reverse dyed dress. I have the dress turned inside out, and this is one of the short sleeve tiered dresses. You see a lot of them during the summer. I purchased this one at Walmart. I was specifically looking for one that wasn't white, and right now all I could find at my local Old Navy was a white one. So I bought this one at Walmart. It has pockets, so that's what the things are that you see flopping out beside the dress. Since I have it turned inside out, they're just kind of hanging out there. I'm going to tie some random lines on the dress using sinew. I'm going to use sinew because I want the wax coating to form a waterproof barrier that won't allow the color remover or any dye underneath this area. I want to keep some of the gray in the dress. One of the lines is going to go diagonally across the dress from kind of the corner of the hem of the dress up to just below that first tier of the dress. Then on either side of this first line, I'm going to grab areas and place sinew lines. Like I said, I want it to be random. I don't really want it to be a geode or to look like a geode, so the areas are going to be pretty large. I did this design on a shirt and I really love the way it turned out. I'll put a link down below in the description for this video to the t-shirt that I did this technique or design on. I'm not quite sure what to call it. Like I said, it's not a geode, but I think that the shirt that I made was really interesting to look at, so I'm curious to see how this dress turns out. I'm keeping myself restrained and not making small areas. I'm really trying to do large chunks of the dress at a time whenever I tie sinew lines. And I'm trying to keep it as random as possible. Believe it or not, being random is actually kind of hard. It's really easy to do a pattern when you're not intending to. And I definitely don't want any kind of a pattern on this dress. I've made several of these dresses in the last few weeks, and I was very intimidated by them for a long time because I wasn't sure what design to put on a dress like this that has the different tiers and it work with the dress. Because of the different tiers, if I did any kind of fan fold or anything like that, the ruffling is going to interfere with that. And if I did anything where I was trying to make it absolutely perfect, I don't think that's going to work with a dress like this. I think maybe with like an A-line dress or something like that, that would work. I did do a t-shirt dress and I've done a sleeveless dress from Old Navy, and I fan folded that one and it really worked well on the dress. But with the tiered dresses, it's a little different. I think that these more random lines work really well with this design. One of the ones that I did was a single geode, and that worked really well. And then I just did diagonal lines across the dress, not really in a geode pattern, but kind of similar to a geode. And I think that worked really well too. One thing that I am doing on this dress, which is similar to a geode, is I'm not trying to make the lines perfect. If a little bit of fabric gets bunched up in there or twisted in there, I'm going to go ahead and tie the line that way. I just think those imperfections look a lot more natural and a lot more interesting. A perfect line to me just is kind of boring, but that's just my personal taste. For the color removal process, I'm going to use a product called Out White Brite Laundry Whitener. I purchased mine on the laundry aisle next to the bleach at Walmart. It's not a bleach product, so it doesn't damage the fabric the way bleach does, and it also doesn't have to be neutralized the way bleach does. If you can't find any at your local store, I have a link down below in the description for where you can purchase some from Amazon. The product does have a smell though, so I use it outside and I wear my respirator the entire time because I don't want to inhale the fumes or any of the Out White Brite powder. I'm going to remove the color from quite a few things at the same time. So I've placed the items down inside of a plastic tote or container, and I'm going to sprinkle the Out White Brite over the top of the fabric. Then I'm going to pour boiling hot water over the top of the Out White Brite. When I add the hot water, the Out White Brite begins to bubble and immediately remove the color from these items. I haven't sped this portion of the video up, so you can see how quickly it works. I'm going to go ahead and speed the video up, but I left the items in the Out White Brite solution for probably about 15 to 20 minutes. Then I took them to my utility sink and rinsed them really well in cold water. Then I put them into my washing machine and I washed them using a little bit of Dharma's textile detergent. You can wash them in either a warm or a hot cycle, it doesn't really matter. By the way, I left them tied for this entire process. Then, when all the items were finished in the washer, I put them into my soda ash solution and I soaked them for about 20 to 30 minutes. Then I wrung them out of my Panda spin dryer and they're ready to go. I've been having fun doing some of the gravity dyes, so I thought I would try to gravity dye this dress. It's tied in sinew and it's kind of an unusual shape, but I'm in the middle of doing one shirt right now, so I thought I would do the dress at the same time. For this dress, I've chosen 3 different shades of purple. I thought purple would go really well with the gray lines. I've placed the dress on a piece of vinyl guttering, which I have between 2 sawhorses. I also have a container down below to catch all the muck and the runoff. I'm going to randomly apply the 3 different dye shades to the top of this dress. I'm using Orchid from Dharma, English Violet from Dye Spin, and Royal Purple from Grateful Dyes. To hold the ice on the dress, I'm using a metal basket which I got at Dollar Tree Dollar Store. After I put the ice in the basket, I put a little sprinkle of dry soda ash over the top of the ice. It was really hot outside the day that I did this dress. I think it was probably like, 105 maybe. It was really hot. So the ice was melting really fast. And the sinew did kind of stop or interfere with the movement down the dress. So because of the strange shape of this dress, I kept moving it around on the piece of guttering, and I even went back a few of the times that I added ice to the dress and added just a little bit of dye in places to make sure everything got some color on it. Just about the time that the majority of the dress was covered in dye, a thunderstorm blew up, so I ended up having to take the dress off of the guttering and put it down inside of a container to go ahead and finish processing. I took the container inside for a while, but then later brought it outside after the rain stopped, back out to where it was really warm to allow it to process for the full 24 hours. I tried to take a lot of photos of the dress as I was adding dye and more ice to the dress, so you can kind of see how the dye moved through the dress. I also had to take photos from each side of the dress because it's such an unusual shape. The dye was moving differently from each side of the piece of guttering. So after 24 hours, I took the dress to my utility sink and I started rinsing it in cold water to rinse out the soda ash. Then I untied the dress and warmed the water up to hot to rinse out any of the excess dye that didn't bond with the fabric. When the water was running almost clear, I put the dress, along with some Dharma's professional textile detergent, into my washing machine and I washed it using a hot water cycle. So let's see what it looks like after it's been washed and dried. Okay, so what do you guys think? I think this one turned out looking really pretty. I love the random lines. I love it just as much on the dress as I did on the shirt that I did. I also think that the lines on the dress don't look quite as gray up next to the purple. They look more taupe, but it's really pretty. And I think the purple looks really good with the lines. I only added 3 different dye colors to this dress, and I can see the color variations in the purple from those 3 different dye colors. And there is some dye movement in the dress, but of course the dye couldn't move quite as far in this dress because of all the different sinew lines. But I do think it has a very watercolor type feel to it. It is a very soft look to the dress, which I think looks really pretty. So overall, I really like this dress, and I think this is a great technique to use on a dress that is this style of a dress. But what do you guys think? Drop me some comments down below and let me know. And if you've enjoyed watching me make this dress and experiment with doing gravity dyeing on the dress, I sure would appreciate it if you would like it and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a great day.